Good morning, everybody. So here we are back in the kitchen. Again, I'm getting ready to go ahead and take this roast and cube it up so that we can have it for Sunday dinner. Probably doing a take or a riff on the beef tips in rice. So I'm going to cut this fat cap off here. That is good for rendering, but I just don't like a lot of fat. Not a fan of that. That off of there. Let's see if I can get the rest of that corner piece off. And again, we'll cube this up so we can prep it and let it season real good. And we'll do beef tips out of it. And I'm just trying to think, do I want to do it in the slow cooker overnight, or do I want to go ahead and put it in Instapot? Of course, we know if I do it in Instapot, it won't take long at all. So I'm just trying to decide in my mind which method I want to do. All right, so we're simply just gonna, again, take the beef itself and cut it up into cubes. And this was a roast that we got in our meat package. So sometimes when you don't want to have roast, you can do other things. And I just decided, hey, let's do beef tips tomorrow. Maybe mashed potatoes, some green beans, maybe. We shall see. Haven't got the whole menu together in my head yet, but it's coming together. But one thing I always like to do is get my meat on so that it can marinate ahead of time. And you know, nice cubes. Don't want them too big, you know, bite-sized type method like this. That. So we'll go ahead and get that over there, and we'll just continue slicing our meat up and getting it cubed up for the beef tips. We'll get it in a good marinade, and it can be marinating while I decide on the method I want to use. Do I want to use, again, slow cooker and let it go low and slow overnight? Or do I want to use the Instant Pot and just go ahead and knock it out of the way? Either way, it will be delicious. So, doesn't matter the method. It's the love, the care, and the seasoning is what makes it. And when you cook with love, then your food is really, really good. So we'll just go ahead and continue to slice up our roast. And you know what size you want for your meat. I just, again, don't want big chunks. You want them to be bite-sized. And so I just cut them into bite-sized pieces. And then we'll get us a marinade to go on the meat, to let it marinate. Alrighty. Okay. And again, just get it cubing. Like our meat nice and tender. Don't want to have to fight to chew. Nothing worse than having something that's tough. It's like, yeah, no, don't need anything tough. I want to be enjoyable. When people eat it, it's where they can chew and enjoy it, not have to fight to chew it. Because tough meat is not good, in my opinion. Some people say they don't mind a little chew. Well, I do. I don't want a little chew. I want to be able to get it, eat it, and not fight with it. Last piece. And you see, it didn't take long to do break this roast down. Because sometimes you just want to eat something different, not just the same old foods all the time. You know, just because it's in roast form, you're stuck that, okay, I got to do roast. No. Let the wheels turn. Be creative. So that you're not eating the same old all the time. You know, be adventurous. Change it up. Because different is always good. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the little bit of excess fat that was there. Again, we don't like all that extra fat hanging on, so we'll just go back and trim that off. On here and anywhere I see that where I trimmed on the fat cap, if there's still fat there, I want to go ahead and get it off. All right. So we got our beef all cubed. What's that piece? All cubed up. And that's good, this one. All right. Yeah, I know you guys are probably like, lady, leave the fat alone, but I just don't like all that fat. So I like to get it off. All right. So now I'm gonna get my measuring cup. I'm gonna go ahead and make a little marinade. So let me get some Worcestershire sauce. So in here, we're gonna do Worcestershire sauce. We did like 2 tablespoons. We're gonna do some coconut aminos. And we're gonna do about the same thing. 2 tablespoons of that. Then we're gonna go in with some spices. We're gonna go in with garlic. And let's see. What else? Garlic. Where did I see my onion powder at? Okay, so let's go in with garlic. And let's take it in with 2 tablespoons. Then we'll go in with onion powder the same. 2 tablespoons. And then we're going to go in with 1 teaspoon of the chili powder. And then we're going to go in with some thyme and then salt and pepper. And then salt is going to be pink Himalayan. Going with a good teaspoon of that, and then a couple of drinks of the black pepper, and then we're just gonna mix that all together. Get my little whisk out, baby whisk, and I'll end up with the Worcestershire. And then we'll mix that up and we'll get it over on our meat. All right, guys, so I finished mixing up, and in the midst of mixing up the marinade, I thought about it because, you know, I had coconut aminos, and then we did some Worcestershire sauce, and then I did garlic, onion powder, and some thyme in here, and then I remembered that, you know, I made the beef bouillon, so I went ahead and put in water, about a cup, and then I put in a tablespoon of the beef bouillon so that it can go right over the meat. So we got that all mixed up. We're going to go ahead and get the meat in our Ziploc bag because that's the way we're going to marinate it. Get that over in our bag. And let this meat, and this meat can marinate for 24 hours. It can marinate just however long you want it to infuse the flavor. Again, I'm still deciding on whether it will go in the crock pot later or will it go in Instapot tomorrow. So we got that marinade all in there. And then all I do is take it off my stand, make sure we get the air out. And then we're just gonna give it a couple little turns to make sure that everything is getting marinated. And then I'll store it in the refrigerator. And when I store it in the refrigerator, I always like to store it flat. I'm sorry, like I can't talk this one. I store it flat, and then as I go in the refrigerator throughout the day, I'll flip my bag, you know, just and kind of work it through, and that way the meat gets marinated really well. And again, this is going to be beef tips, and so we're going to go ahead and let that marinate, and it's going to marinate, I can already say, probably the entire day, because it won't get cooked until either later tonight in the crock pot, or either we will do Instapot tomorrow. But that was just a quick marinade to do using, again, Worcestershire sauce. And I use coconut aminos. You could use soy sauce, 2 tablespoons. And then we have black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and thyme. And then I decided to mix up some of my homemade beef bouillon and put in there. So yes, again, that was a marinade. Hope you guys will give this a try. And this is Digitally Fit and Fabulous in the kitchen again. Happy Saturday.